Hello everyone. In this video I will be showing you how to fix a photo using GIMP. So first thing you'll want to do is open up your photo in GIMP. So I've chosen this photo here, which I found using just a Google search. So normally when reconstructing or fixing a photo or retouching it, I like to analyze the photo and find all of the areas that need to be fixed. So what I want to do is first of all, I'm going to duplicate this layer. So if you see here, I have, and I'll just open this up a little bit more, my original photo layer. So down here at the bottom, there's a duplicate layer icon. So I'll just go ahead and click that, and then I'm just going to hide this, and I will be working with the copy of it. And this is always a good idea, because if for some reason you've messed up or done something to the photo, and you maybe want to just start over, which doesn't necessarily happen all the time, because you can always undo things that you've done, but just in case. So now we have the copy of the photo layer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in, and I'm just using Control and the mouse roller wheel and rolling upwards to zoom in. So if you can see here that we have quite a few areas. On her face, there's a sort of mark here on the left side of her face. On the right side, there's another mark. Up towards her eyebrow, I see a mark here on the photo. Of course, we've got some things going on the neck, and then the background, especially here on the left side of the photo. And then what I'll do after those areas are cleaned up is I'll go in and I'll fix the background. See how the background is kind of spotty and looks cracked a little bit? So we'll just go ahead and smooth that out as well. Looking down towards the bottom of the photo, I don't really see too much that actually needs to be done. Maybe just a little touch-ups on these dark spots here on the arm. Okay, so now that I've analyzed the photo, I'm going to begin. So what we'll use is, it's called the healing tool in GIMP, and it just kind of looks like two band-aids making sort of a cross shape. And if you hover over it, you can see that it's the healing tool. If you don't have your healing tool in your toolbox, you can come over here to Tools, and let's see, I think maybe that's in Paint. Yep, Paint Tools. Down here you'll see Heal, so you can always select it from here as well. And if you notice here, if you have your Properties window open, you can adjust some of the settings. So let's look at the settings here. The hardness, let's just keep it at about 75. We don't want to go 100%, just because when working with humans, we want sort of a smoother look. And the size will depend on the area that we're working on. So we'll probably be adjusting the size quite often. And the brush, of course, I have the 75 brush. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll just start up here with the eyebrow section. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom on in to there. Okay. And the brush is a little bit big. Notice that we need to come down a little bit, make this brush size a little closer to the size of the blemish. And that looks to be about pretty good. Now, what we'll do first, when you're retouching a photo like this, fixing blemishes or cracks, creases, things like that, you're going to want to select an area first. Then we'll brush over the blemish to cover the blemish with the selected area's color. So what we need to do is select areas that are very close to the same color that we would expect that blemished area to be. So if we notice here, it's kind of a darker area here, maybe due to a shadow or something like that. So I'm going to select the darker area. So what we want to do is hold Control. We click the source, so which we'll use this source right here. And if you notice down here at the bottom, it kind of tells you statuses of what's happening. So hold Control, click the source. Now we'll go over to the blemish. Make sure you let Control go. And then we just click the blemish. Click in the blemished area. Okay. I don't want to go all the way down into her eyebrow because I'm going to grab the eyebrow color and come up just a little bit. I'm going to select a new source so I can do this section here. Oops. Okay. Control, click. Then we'll kind of get this too. All right. Now I'm going to reduce this size a little bit more and take care of her eyebrows. So I may even need to go down to 2. Yeah, 2 looks good. So I'm going to grab this part of her eyebrow, Control click, and then I'm just going to come over here and retouch her eyebrow a little bit here. Okay, let's zoom down a little, see how that looks. Okay, so that area that's blemished looks pretty good. I'm going to now move on to her little face blemish here on the right side of her face. So I'm going to scroll or zoom in. Okay, so we have this dark line coming right up the side of her face. So what we'll do is we'll just grab the lighter colors right next to the line as we're going down, which means we're going to be selecting new sources quite often. And the reason for doing that is because human flesh is not one solid color. Different areas of our skin contain different colors, and then due to shading, shadows, lighting, things like that, there's lots of different colors in this image actually, even though it's a black and white image. So up here, I'm going to get a brighter color of her skin. So I'm going to select about right here and then go ahead and cover over this dark area here. Okay, and move down just a little bit. So I've selected another area. And you can see the selection area because it stays in one spot. The little square here that's not moving, that's the selection area. All right, so now another selection area here. So we're just kind of keeping the same skin tone as we move down the face. Okay. And I'm just kind of giving this several clicks across the blemish. Okay, let me get a little bit of a lighter color here because it looks a little too dark to me there. Okay, I'm gonna get this little spot here. Okay, it's a little dark right there. Let me get this bright color. Okay. Now I do see another one that I didn't notice initially, so it's right up here on the bridge of her nose. So this looks like a natural right there, so I'm assuming that that is a blemish. I'm gonna get rid of that. So I'll select this source area and just kind of cover over that. Okay, And you can click and hold the mouse button down, or you can just click in several spots, whatever works for that area. Okay, now let's see. Okay, so we'll go to the left side of the face. I'll work on that next. Um, and it seems like the size of brush I have, I might come up just a little bit here to maybe 3 or 4. Yeah, that looks good. 4 looks good. So we have this whole area right here that I'm gonna kind of fix. So I'll go over to the side of the blemished area, select the lighter colors, and just kind of remove that. Okay. Yeah, it's cleaning up really nice here. And I'm just kind of selecting areas as I go down. Okay. Okay. So I'll select that. And, okay, I think that's looking okay. Let's see. Oh, we've got an area right here that doesn't look quite right. So let me get that brightened up. All right, good. Now move on to the neck. Oops. Okay, so there's the neck. Let me zoom out. So see how I zoom out? We can really see the damage to the photo. Zooming in, it becomes very pixelated. So if you zoom in too much, you'll lose the area. It'll become harder. So you want to zoom in just enough. Yeah, right there. So I'll fix this little spot here first. So I'm going to select this area right above it. And right here is another spot. So I will select a spot right above it because it looks like there's a little bit of shadowing going on in her neck here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out a little. Alright, now get this crease here, this long crease. Alright, so let's see, do I want to go above the crease or below the crease? I'll go above it. It looks a little more natural to me there. And yeah, so we're getting, I'll get that spot there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's coming out pretty good here. Okay. Alright, and almost done with that little section. There's a little spot there I don't like too much. Alright, now there's some kind of, it looks like a T, a dark T shape there. I'm going to go ahead and cover that with the lighter spots. Okay. Maybe a little bit down here by her. Yeah. Towards the top of her shirt. Seems to be a little blemished here. Okay. Okay, good. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and move on over to the left side here. Get rid of these creases. Now this is a quick demonstration, so if you ever do this for real, on a real photo that you're trying to fix, You'll definitely want to take your time um, and be very careful. And actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, we'll make it a little bigger because this whole area is basically going to be the same color. So I'm just quickly selecting areas and then covering the damaged areas with that selection color. Yeah, so this is coming out quite nice here on this background. So once we get the actual blemishes here fixed, and since the background is the same color, I don't necessarily have to keep selecting new areas. Alright. Alright, let's scroll over here a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to go down here and fix those little blemishes here that I see on the arm. I don't think I need to change my brush size, so selection area, get that one covered. Okay. And right here a little bit, so I'll use this selection area. Notice down here at the bottom of the arm is brighter than up here, so I need a new selection area, but the size of my brush is a little bit too big, so we want to make sure that the size of the brush actually stays comfortably. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to be, alright, so that's at 100%. That's what it looks like at 100%. I think what we can do now is just kind of fix the background. To fix the background, I think all we really need to do is maybe use some blending. So let's get the smudge tool. We'll try that and see how that works out. If you don't see it here in the toolbox, go to Tools, go to Paint Tools, and then Smudge. Okay, so I've got a really big brush size on that, and it's a little bit, yeah. So for the big areas, I am going to use a bigger brush. So let me zoom in a little bit, and let's just kind of smudge the background. Now you're going to want to make sure that the little cross in the middle of our brush is centered in a non-damaged area. Alright, so we'll do, and I'm just trying to smooth out this background a bit. Okay. Now make sure you don't hit her hair or her dress with your brush. I'm going to have to reduce that down some more to get closer to the shirt. I don't want to smudge into the shirt. If we smudge into the shirt, we'll kind of mess up that pattern on it. So we just want to get as close as we can. Just kind of go around the whole background and do this. So I'm not going to make you watch me do the whole background, so I will speed this up. Okay, so I've finished the background. I think it looks pretty good. As a matter of fact, I think it would probably be a good idea to take the smudge tool a little bit to the face, because you can see where it's a lot of discoloring, and that's probably because of the cracks in the picture. So I will do the same technique on her face. Now when you're using the smudge tool, wherever you start um, is where the color will be pulled from. So to use the smudge tool, we're just, clicking and holding and dragging. But the source area is where you're going to want to drag from, so that you can blend the source color into the rest of it. And to show you what I mean, for instance, notice up here at the very top of the, like around the hairline, is darker. We can see lighter areas coming down across the front of her forehead, bridge of her nose, at the very tips of her nose is really shiny. And then, we have light areas on the cheeks. We have shadows here, a lot of shadows here. So what I want to show you is, if you take, and let's say if I take from the darker area, okay, and then pull down, notice how that darker area kind of comes down with it. So I'm just going to do Control Z to undo that. But notice if I grab from a lighter area and pull it, then it pulls that lighter area and then blends it into the area that I'm pulling it to. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to get sort of just a little bit of bigger of a brush, and I'm going to start here in the lighter areas and just kind of make little circular motions, not too big, because we don't want to make the photo look unrealistic. So I'm just kind of doing little short, quick strokes, okay, because I don't want to blend the wrong colors into the wrong places. Okay, all right, so there's that. I don't think I really need to do anything with the nose, but the chin over here looks a little not good. So I'm going to drag some. Now the chin has a lot of light on it, so I'm taking from the lighter areas and then blending it into the shadowy areas. Little short strokes, not like in the background. The background I was able to use long strokes. Okay, here on the side of her cheek, let's see, right here looks like a good color to start smudging. Yeah, her cheek looks a little speckly there. And so now over here on the side is a little bit more shadow. So just following the contour of her face, trying to make sure that I'm not overdoing it. We don't want to overdo it, because then it won't look natural anymore. So right here, I think we need some more light going over this way. And again, little small blending strokes here. Just kind of smoothing out all these rough edges. So okay, so I'm going to go ahead and speed it up. Save time. Okay, now that we smoothed out the face a little bit and smoothed out the neck a little bit, got the background and the blemishes fixed, I think it's time to go ahead and do the finishing touches. So to do the finishing touches, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away the white border. So let's just I'm going to grab the crop tool here, and I'll just start in the upper right corner and drag here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut away some of that extra background too. And nope, maybe I'll keep that. That'll keep it a little bit more proportional. Okay, and double click to accept the crop change. So what we'll do next is we'll adjust the brightness and contrast on this. So go to colors, brightness, contrast. Let's just bring the contrast up a little bit. Bring the brightness maybe down a bit. Oh no, let's bring that brightness back up a bit. Okay, a little more contrast. Okay, good. That looks good. Alright, so hit OK. Okay, so what we want to do is sharpen this image a little bit. So filters, enhance, and then sharpen, unsharp mask. And you can kind of see, oh yeah, there we go. We'll bring that amount up and play with the radius a little bit. Yeah. Okay, good. I think that looks okay. All right, so hit OK. And I think we're finished. Let me put this at 100% zoom. All right. Oops. So here I'm going to go ahead and show the original and hide the edited version so I can just kind of toggle so you can see the difference like that. Old image, new image. Damaged image, fixed image. Okay, well, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Thank you for watching.